live.
Hi, we're live. And we're
Welcome.
fashionably late, just like my style.
I don't even know. But we here though.
We're here. Welcome to Keeping Washington in Washington.
Welcome. So we're hoping you're tuning in for the second time. That's a good BYB on the background.
Keeping Washington in Washington. Well, there's the intro.
Yeah.
Hello,
I've been getting on
hello.
their nerves the entire time, and I don't even know how or why. But people who know me probably do know, so sorry about that. It's just me.
We do know.
So welcome back. Thank you for coming back, everybody that's tuning in, or maybe they're about to tune in. So we're just going to pick up really where we left off last week.
Okay.
I mean, besides the fact it was my birthday, we can start there and talk about how great it was. And
So you're a week older.
yes, I'm a week older.
No,
but,
you're 40 years older. Oh,
The last week, my man.
Did I say
you drink
something
too?
I
Did
shouldn't have
you-
said?
Were you drinking too? Okay, so they all started way before they got here. So I'm trying to catch up.
So no, so I'll talk about it for a little bit, my birthday, because I'm so happy because all my cousins put together like a surprise party for me after the podcast.
At your house.
At my house, so they broke
in.
Yeah, but it was a great time, and I didn't know because I thought that I was going to go home. I wanted to go home because if anybody watched that movie, 40-Year-Old Version, not Virgin,
Version.
it's a black movie. It's absolutely wonderful, and everyone thought that it was going to be horrible. Oh, you don't know how to pick out movies, they said, but
Did you like it?
I loved it, and so
it was a
did
great,
everyone else.
great movie.
Oh,
Zakia picks out different movies
Mm.
than I usually watch. So I was surprised that she picked out one that was good.
Well, okay.
I don't know how else to say it.
And
All
all my
right.
cousins loved it. So shout out to 40-Year-Old Version.
Shout out to all the
Lena
rappers
Waithe.
on there too.
Yeah, it was a lot
Lot
of
of
them.
Can't
And the
name them
forgot the lady's name.
It's okay. We're gonna pull
We
it up.
love
But
her.
it's, let's see.
Look at it. Look for it. It's on Netflix.
Hot.
4-year version. All right, so now back to why are we here?
Keeping
Keeping
Washington in
All
Washington.
right.
DC, DC.
DC in the house. So why are we keeping Washington in
So,
Washington?
well, the whole thing, if you tuned in last week, I'll just recap and bring you up to speed. I like to talk about the name Keeping Washington in Washington, why I chose it. And it basically talks about the culture and everything that DC stands for, Washington, DC is about, the things it has been through, the growth, the despair, everything. So we've kind of gone through all of that last week, and ended on the neighborhoods, which I don't know if you remember. We were talking about Noma, which it's just become Noma. It's usually just been the street, New York Avenue,
Exactly.
New York Capitol.
There
It's
was
like,
no name for that one.
no, it was just Noma, and so was the subway station. The subway station didn't even exist.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
So,
No, it does.
yeah.
And then now you got Shaw Metro, you got the HU
Everything
Metro.
is
Well, the
coming
Droid was already there.
Wow,
The
it's
Droid
amazing how
Well, they
things
don't have a metro
change,
there, but Lee Droid.
or how accessibility is.
Mm-hmm.
Petworth didn't have a metro.
They
Or
do
Columbia
have-
Heights.
Columbia Heights have a metro.
Yeah, but
So the
now
people
they
that
do.
were here before weren't worthy of a metro station.
They rode the
They
bus.
rode the bus. They rode
Why
the bus.
did they decide to do a nomads?
Because it's the metro.
Oh,
station
that's
now-
that whole gentrification
Oh,
process.
okay.
The
Yeah,
So that they
the
can-
name
I was-
change is
I was
about
trying to lead you
They
on.
couldn't call it,
Yeah.
serve some
Yeah.
quarter. They're gonna turn that
Yeah.
down,
Yeah, the name change was about the dollars
That's right.
to make the money,
North
but the
of
metro was to
Massachusetts.
So
bring
Noma
more people into
It's
the
an actual neighborhood in DC now.
Yeah.
Noma, yeah,
Okay.
and it's it's not even up and coming.
It's a high, expensive
It's a
dollar
high-end,
real estate.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
beautiful brownstones, they're worth what they look like too. You know.
So
condos.
one bedroom, one condo for 500. One
Oh,
bedroom,
yeah,
one
bedroom,
bath,
one
Yep,
bath,
yep,
500K.
600, yeah.
So-
600K.
And to talk about that, so that's good. If you're from that area and you can afford to do a condo, see, I would prefer a condo. I think that's nice, but that is something that you should look to invest in, and
Mhm.
especially if that's your hood, your area, you love that. I know people that grew up there, and but their family left them a house, you know. But if you know, want to get the most out of what you're doing, you know, that's a good area because the real estate there is like $1 million.
That's
And those are
expensive.
huge houses that they have turned into condos. They are no longer
Wow.
just houses, which kind of sucks because
Yeah, a
they
lot
were
of the
so
houses there are
beautiful.
converted. Even
They are
LaJoy Park,
converting row houses.
which I used to
Mhm.
love LaJoy Park. I like
Mhm.
LaJoy Park,
Mhm.
right? It's right behind Howard University, and it reminded me of New York because it was like brownstones.
Yeah,
So you have
like
all of those, but
Brooklyn.
you know, most of those now are they have 2 and 3
Mhm.
condos, so they're not any longer just a row house or a
Mm.
brownstone or a townhouse, depending on where you're from, what you
Right.
call them.
Right.
They're now all condos.
What's your thoughts on that, though? I have to
I
give them
hate
credit
it.
for the creativity. I would have never thought to take a row house.
I make it in 4 condos or 3 condos or
3
whatever.
condos.
Some of them are 2 levels, some are
I
one
like
level.
Yeah.
It's
that,
sexy,
but
sexy.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on. Most people they used to have large families that lived in those houses. So
Right.
Okay.
if you don't need large families, and if more people are coming with 2 and 1 child, or
Mhm.
what is it, 2.5?
2.5. They
You
got
don't
2.5
need a home,
kids.
because some of those was like 6-bedroom houses. I remember my friend Carol.
I take that back. We started that.
Who
Shout
started?
My
out to
God.
Sadie, by the way.
My guy actually did that.
Did what?
Took his row house
Mm-hmm.
and made it into a 2 unit.
Uh-huh.
My main man Ben did that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about that later, but yeah, he
Mm.
did that. I just thought about that.
Shout out Ben.
Shout out,
Alright,
Ben.
Ben.
Heads up, self-made
Self-made.
entertainment.
That's where we are right now.
We're
with
at
this radio.
Self-Made
Yeah.
Studios.
Self-made studio.
Yes.
Shout out to Ben.
But you know, DC was pretty much, it's almost like it was set up to be that kind of situation because those row houses, most of the people had those and they had the apartment unit in the basement.
That's right.
So
yeah.
you owned the whole thing
The
and
in-law
you
suite.
lived in the
That's
main
Yeah,
right.
and the
in-law
upper,
suites.
and then you rent out. You get a CO, a
Mhm.
certificate of occupancy for the basement.
Mhm.
Maybe get a separate meter. And look,
Yeah.
you living good right now. So a lot of people like that, and I like that. That's why I was gonna move to LaJoy Park. I was looking for one of them brownstones where you had the basement
Right.
where I could rent
Where
it
the
out so they
in-law.
could help me pay my rent.
And a
Yeah.
lot of
I mean,
houses
my
are like
mortgage.
that all over DC. I know a lot of them are.
But they're not a lot of places. They're not like that in like Maryland and Virginia.
No.
Right.
Like
That's
that,
right.
yeah.
That's right. And those places are expensive.
So
Even the
that's-
rental units.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know you're in the basement
3,000.
because we
It's
were
location.
because we were managing. I think it was right in Columbia Heights.
Mm-hmm.
We were managing, and the basement unit
Mm.
Wow.
was $2,500, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to
How many
be
bedrooms?
kidding me?
Probably 2.
1.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So-
I'm like, you crazy, yeah.
And even taking those units, and another topic I'm sure we're going to discuss down the road, and doing Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's big.
Well, you
Well,
can do
that's
that, but
huge, and they're
DC has
trying-
a lot of laws.
Yeah, they're
around
trying
it.
to stop it and get a lot of laws. There's a new Airbnb. I guess it's not so new that's coming out. I worked with a person, and it's one of those that's marijuana friendly Airbnbs, and they're all around DC.
Okay.
It's called Elevation. Shout out to Elevation B&B. So
Elevation, huh?
yeah.
Get high.
Elevation. Okay,
Get your
so
mind
that-
right.
So
Okay.
it's Elevation B&B Airbnb because you're allowed to smoke marijuana.
hmm
there.
And they actually, it's really cool because they like serve you. I mean, like they
They
have
bring
it there
bubbles
for
and
you
stuff?
in the
Oh, wow.
room.
Shut up! Do they really? But wait
That's
a minute.
interesting.
I mean, if it's that situation, and if you want to partake, and but it's legal in DC, so you can just bring your own and go to any Airbnb, or you can't do that.
No, some people have rules. They're like, oh,
Mhm.
don't smoke in my property.
Okay.
Don't do things
Okay.
like that.
Oh, so that's a good niche then.
Somebody
they have
found
a
it.
good
Yeah,
niche.
yeah, no doubt.
I think so.
Marijuana,
I think so because
elevation,
you see
yeah.
that they're trying to legalize or decriminalize like shrooms and
Yeah.
other.
Wow.
Well, it depends. So I don't want to talk about politics, but it depends on who
Goes
is
in
the
the
next
office.
president.
Go vote.
Go vote. It depends who's the next president then, because if it's not the current administration, then marijuana will be federally,
Yeah.
because right now it's not federally legal. So
You
it'll
think
be
so?
yeah,
Wow.
it will be. And once it becomes that, it'll be like alcohol,
Because it
man.
does help
You
a
see
lot
what
of
happened when
ailments.
prohibition ended?
That's interesting.
That's
Less
true.
people
I
died.
thought we were about
Less
maybe a
people
couple.
died.
Yeah.
Because people ain't trying to sneak and this and all that illegal stuff you had going
It's
on
true.
with
I was thinking
alcohol.
2030, but okay.
No, I'm hoping no. That's
10
too long.
years.
No, I'm telling you right now.
You know, the generational change.
And there is a stock right now. It's called I think it's HLIX. It's the HLIX. I
We
got
giving out
no.
stock
Yes,
tips
buy
now.
Wait a
stock
minute.
on
I
cannabis.
have no affiliation with the stock other than I own some shares.
Yeah, buy cannabis
it's-
stock. I don't see why not.
This company though, it's a penny
I have
stock,
some.
and this company will make you millions. It's a penny stock if the next administration is Joe Biden, because marijuana is going to be federally legalized,
Mhm.
and this company is the company that's going to fuel all the companies that are running the marijuana business from the back end. So cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
HLIX. I'm just saying. I got
All right, that's the
20,000.
code
All right,
name.
all
Oh,
right.
good. That's the same thing with the one that I had decided to get. It was MCOA, but I'm gonna tell you, I can't speak on it. We'll just see. But stay tuned.
But that we just digressed a little
Yes, we
bit
did. It's okay.
from keeping Washington.
Well,
But
that's what
you'll
this
be
is
able to
about.
stay in Washington if you get some good stuff.
Well,
How about
yeah. So that's what this whole thing is about: learning how to keep some money, get some money, do something to be profitable and gain some money, and put your stamp on your hometown, your stamp on where you're from. Because who doesn't love when they call your hometown when you're out,
Brooklyn.
right? Where Brooklyn at?
I don't
Yeah,
love
they
it so
love
much,
it.
but we'll talk about that.
Well,
later.
you're from Ohio. No one ever calls out Montgomery County.
Oh.
Has anybody ever heard? Hey,
It's just like people say I'm from Queens. Have you ever heard anybody
Dave
shouting
Chappelle's
out
from Silver
Queens?
Spring.
Nas. Hello.
Now who cares about?
Wow.
Nobody
Nicki
shouts out
Minaj.
Queens. Look, you know who's from Queens also? What's his name that was shot 9 times? 50 Cent.
Yes.
But
50
nobody,
Cent?
he still don't be shouting out Queens. He shouts
Wow.
out Brooklyn.
That's-
He from Queens.
Okay.
Have you heard that before? I've never seen
You know
that.
what?
That's,
She's on to something. I don't know.
that's kind of whack, 50. I'm just
I think
saying.
Nas definitely represents
Well,
Queens.
Nas
though.
definitely.
But
I represent Brooklyn, the 1-9.
Yeah.
the greatest rapper ever came from Brooklyn. I'll
So
say
that's-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and one of
Great
them
rapper.
is my brother, Red Cafe. So there you
Red
go.
Cafe, shout out Red Cafe.
We had to talk about that later. I didn't know you know Red Cafe.
I know him because he's my brother.
We grew up
I'm a
together.
big hip hop fan.
Okay. So Noma is one of the high dollar areas. Houses around there are starting at 1.5 million, even off the market.
Well, you keep saying high price. Don't scare the people. You
Well,
can
not
still
high.
get in. You can still get into
But how much
DC.
were they before? Maybe like 10 years ago. 10
Oh,
years
girl,
ago,
it
you
was
could
a hot
buy it
mess.
for like
You could have bought the block.
$500,000
It could have been like you were in Baltimore.
Well,
I'm
10
telling
years
you.
ago, they were still like 5 or 6.
No. Let me see. Let's
Oh,
go
yeah,
back
we're
to
in
the late
2020
80s.
right
Yeah,
now.
we just
Okay,
keep
so
getting
20
lost.
years ago, we
yeah.
keep getting lost. So
20
if you-
years ago, you could have
20
bought
years
the
ago.
block.
If
for
you
sure.
went
I
back
don't
to
even
the
know about
late
that.
80s,
I go back
It's
into
kinda
the
true.
late 90s.
the
Late
early
90s.
90s,
Well, maybe early
early
2000s. Early 2000s is when it all popped off.
late 80s, early 90s, you could have Howard University, Georgia Avenue. You could have just owned that, right?
Yeah.
And then now you'd be like, yeah.
Well, there was one point where they were selling houses in DC for $1, and I
It's
remember
still
that
true.
was in 2001. So,
But
that's,
I have a little tip, but I'm not giving it out because you got to reach out to the repositioners to get that kind of information.
yeah, check us out, therepositioners.com, because we have several classes and several trainings that
To
teach
teach
you
you.
how to invest in real estate, how to get that financial and generational wealth that
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for your family, whether it be here or anywhere in the world.
Financial legacy. But there is one thing, but I'm not going to talk about it. You were saying that DC used to sell properties for like $1. You actually can find out where all the properties that are owned by DC and just go to them and try to buy
Yeah,
it.
that's
Wow.
true.
Try to buy it. Because
That's a good
DC
tip.
does not
Good
want to
tip.
be a landlord. DC does.
Yeah.
No state wants
That's
to be
what
a
I was going to
landlord.
say. Anywhere they're trying to get rid of properties, they were trying to offload properties in Prince George's County, and they still are, I think.
Tax liens.
They need
York
taxpayers.
Street,
They
all
don't
of
want
that Coral
land.
Hills area.
They need tax dollars. They need revenue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that comes through property taxes, y'all.
Right. So call the repositioners and we'll get you
Please.
some.
Please call the repositioners, 202-688.
So Noma,
72.
So you got Noma, Columbia
Columbia
Heights,
Heights.
and Petworth.
Which, that was more like a residential, like, like
It's
apartment
more,
community.
now it's
It
like
had,
a
stores.
multi-use.
It was that. Like, it was stores and it was residential, but it was like apartments.
What's that neighborhood called? It's off of Columbia.
I always forget the name too.
You
I
know the
exactly
what I'm
what
talking
you're talking
about.
about. Hades is there.
I don't have any idea. I knew you would ask
It's
me.
16th Street can get you there, and then you take a
Oh my
left, and you're on
gosh, I
Columbia
know what it is
Road,
now.
and it's
The Gold Coast?
No, the Gold. No,
It's like a little
Oh.
choo 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 choo.
It's
And
not
I don't
Adams
even
Morgan.
know.
Is it Adams Morgan? Is
Not
what I'm
Adams.
talking
It's
about?
right like
It's
in
right
the crevice.
there.
Oh,
Hey, somebody tell us.
It's I know, and I
This
can't
little
even see
neighborhood.
if we can see. Oh, I don't see any. Oh, maybe I can write a comment. Whatever.
Well, so you have a lot of great communities in DC. Some of the old ones where you started really, really inexpensive, and then now you're expensive, and then you have the ones that were expensive and it's more expensive now,
Mhm.
like 16th Street Heights. That is always going to
Yeah,
be
because that's good real estate.
right. That's
And it's a good
real estate.
location. It's a good area. It's right there between Maryland, and you can
Mhm,
go
and
every,
DC.
the Beltway, and then you can get straight downtown on 16th. It's a very good
And
area.
you got Trinidad, which is still being worked on, but
Mhm.
it's like
It's shooting
800.
up. Yeah.
It's like much, much, much significantly better than
Mhm.
what it was in
Wow.
the 90s.
Well, almost. Yeah, but you know.
Which means you
it's-
can still make money. That's the point we're trying
Well,
to
you're.
make, right? You
Yeah.
can still make money if you purchase.
There are a lot of
in there.
4 units over in that area, right?
Yeah.
In
And
Trinidad.
in Trinidad,
Yeah.
but then they had a lot of the row houses that they converted.
Yeah,
into.
and that's what's really going down. We used to live on Capitol Avenue, and there's a property listed right there that's right next door to my house.
Wow.
And well, my old house, and yeah, they're going still right now, and that one is like $600,000. It has no work.
600,000.
So if you have 600 cash, call us. We'll be happy to
We're happy to
set that
help
up for you. So uptown. So I always like to talk about Columbia Heights and
Mhm,
Petworth
mhm.
because remember Georgia Avenue Day?
Of course.
Did anybody
Yes,
go to Georgia
of course.
Avenue Day?
Yes.
Okay, so
That was all the Caribbean stuff.
yeah, that was
Yes.
Caribbean Day. That was Caribbean Day.
Yes.
And like
yes.
the last one they ever had, and that's when you kind of felt like everything was changing because it went up even a little further than it did. Was I think it must have been 2000. I want to say 10 or 11.
Really?
And
Please don't hold us to these dates.
I know, right?
no, because I can remember certain parts of the times, but that's when you could feel that things were kind of changing. Houses were really being renovated from left to right, and back then you could buy a property there for $400,000. Now, if
I'd be
you,
hard pressed to find out.
yeah, that's a condo that has a rat in it. So.
But I think that community was called Adams Morgan because they also had Adams Morgan Day.
No, that's Adams Morgan. That's Auntie Trinidad. I know what you're talking about. It's like Hades is
Got me.
there. It's a very, very largely Latino community.
Okay.
Shout out to the Latinos and Hades. There's one on Georgia Avenue and one there.
What is Hades?
It's a Mexican restaurant and lots of some go-go bands used to play in it, but their food used to be really
You
good.
know where the drag place where you get the brunch with the drag brunch, there's a drag
Nellie's.
show. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Isn't that Adams Morgan?
Oh no, that's U Street. That's
No,
not.
but that's no.
Ninth
Nellie's
Street.
is right there. It's right
Ninth
in
and
that.
U.
No, that's right in that.
Somebody help us out.
Nellie's is right
Yeah,
on Ninth and
no.
U, and it's right across the street from the old Remax office. Do you that's still called?
We'll know the next podcast.
Well, I
for
know
sure.
back in the day it was just simply downtown. You was uptown, but you downtown. So you know how that is. If you're not all the way uptown, like by
So,
Rittenhouse and things
All
like that.
these in Uptown.
No,
Norma,
Leroy
Columbia?
Park and Shaw. Well, that's almost that's downtown, uptown. It's still northwest.
Right, that
And
is still
Shaw.
not quite downtown, but it's downtown, uptown, like you said. Because Shaw is right
Yeah.
by Howard University, that's what
Mhm.
it's Metro, and the
Mhm.
Joy Park is
Not
right
far from
behind.
Right
Howard,
behind
Howard
it.
University, then
Mhm.
Columbia
Tea
Heights
Street and all of that.
Some of Columbia Heights is by Howard University. Also, 'cause
Yeah.
it comes all the way to
It comes
Georgia
10th
Avenue.
Street and
Yeah.
all of that.
And then it goes all the way back out there to
Bryant.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you have the NOMA, which is the new one, which is Florida Avenue.
Mm.
All of that.
Okay.
North
All
of
of these are
Mass.
high dollar areas, and so I bring these up because if that's your area, that's where you from. You used to live in certain quarter. Now you got a little change. Now you're trying to figure out how to get your things together with your bank account and increase upon it. If that's where you from, there's still a way to own a piece of that. I talk about inclusionary zoning all the time because I just can't believe how many people Washingtonians are that are in Washington D.C. They don't know about it, and I'm talking about native Washingtonians. So I think that's very important. You can check it out anywhere on any of the DC government sites, but you can also go to izunits.com and dcaffordablehousing.com. It gives you all the steps of how to get qualified, what to do.
My man, you know we live, right?
We're live.
With me,
What's up with you?
It has so it gives you all the information that you need. And what the inclusionary zoning is for is to provide affordable housing for lower income and to moderate income. And so with the times where they are now, I mean, I'm not sure. I can't
It
say
just
what
allows
everybody.
you to live in the high rise.
In a high-rise community with a
$800,000
pool.
for $250.
I know you all are
Seriously.
familiar. Is
Yeah.
there a process, a wait list? What's going on with
It's
this?
a
always
lottery.
It's always a wait list.
Okay.
No, what it is
It's
it's a
always a
lottery.
lottery.
It's a
When
lottery.
But it's a
Okay.
wait list. You gotta wait. You gotta
For
wait
them to have
before
the
they
draw.
pull the lottery.
Right, that's right.
You gotta
That's right.
wait. There's a wait list,
So
and the wait list is always the list. People, it's a long list.
Is it worth the wait?
it's not
It is
a
worth the
list.
wait.
It's a lottery. You put your information. They send you information every time they have something available or whatever. That's in
But it
your
is a wait because
tier.
there's a certain time that they have a draw.
Well, you have to do things like go to a class, which
Right.
some people hate. I mean,
I
but
don't know
there's-
why you hate this. If you are going to get, and this is what my people. Can I say something to you?
Say it.
If someone is giving you, allowing you, let me say, they're not giving
Please.
you, they're
Yeah.
allowing you the opportunity to purchase a property that is $850,000,
That is
For
valued
two-
at 8.
that is
Valued
valued
at
at
$850,000.
$850,000, and they're allowing you the opportunity, giving you the opportunity to purchase it for $200,000 or $250,000. And all you have to do, people, is do a 1 or a 2 day Saturday class, and you're like, you can't do that. And
Yeah.
you don't deserve to own a house. Okay?
Well,
you
you
can
go
just
buy
take
your
the
own
time
for
to
I wanna say this, y'all.
$850,000.
Our
I'm
folks
just saying.
are
you
used to
don't-
being in what we call a trick bag.
Yeah,
So sometimes when they hear this kind of stuff,
they're like,
I'm very
What's the
jaded.
catch?
I get
You
it. I'm
are
very
jaded.
I'm
Yeah.
very jaded.
What's the
I'm
catch?
always about that. But I also do my research, right? Trust but verify. Okay?
yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
I am very jaded. I think there's a conspiracy around every corner and everybody's a liar. I do. However, just do your research. There's lots of free opportunities in DC. And if you don't want to do the research, call the repositioners. We'll do the research
We'll
for
do it
you.
for you.
For a fee.
guide you through the process.
Look, for a fee. Yeah,
Well,
everything's for
we're
a
not-
fee.
we're not-
Know that
I wanna
it's
say
not
this.
free.
Definitely, there's a process. There's
Mhm.
always going to be a process.
Well, I'm
Always.
going to tell them the process. I mean, it's very simple. You go to HSC or University Legal Services. They have like a whole list on the DC government page of places you can go if it's close to you. Not there's one on MLK. There's places all over. The Urban League.
There's
all of that.
always
Can I tell you something?
Income restrictions,
Exactly. It's always
usually
income restriction.
but we're okay with that. Usually, because I think, what is it now? 110?
10
If I'm,
is
again,
the
don't hold
median
me to that.
income. No, it is.
but
It's the median income right now.
There's
in
some
DC.
restrictions. There's some classes you're going to have to take. There's some things you're going to have to do. But again, if I tell you I can get you $600,000, I'm sure you'll do everything I say you need to do to get it.
But the key
You
to the
hope.
waiting list, no, the key to the wait list is this. It's not a wait list, it's a lottery. So when they're sending you stuff, you like it, you send an
Well,
email
it depends
back.
on what it is you're on. Some of them are lotteries, and some of them.
Well, I'm
you're
just
on a
thinking of the
wait list.
IZ
Yeah.
lottery. I'm speaking of the inclusionary zoning
Yeah.
because the ADUs is what you're talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking
Yeah, she's
about.
talking about
The
affordable
ADU.
dwelling units, which is
Yes.
different. That's like really buying a house. You kind of got to go to that search engine and
Right,
look
right.
up. And then
And
the people
then-
have to be up to date with
Exactly.
information. So
And
that's
that's
another
the
way.
wait list.
Yeah.
That's the wait list.
So but see, DC offers all these programs. Did you know that? Did you know about
And
those?
that's it. A lot of people don't even know you can live in a brand new high rise on the waterfront in Southeast, right? Right by the Nats.
Yeah, that's
stadium,
Southwest, right?
That's Southwest,
Southwest.
excuse me. By the Nats Stadium. You could live there, one of those high rises where it's $4,500 a month. You could get it for $1,000. People, you have to access these programs that are available to you.
That's
it's
right.
free. And if you don't have the time, and that's the thing, a lot of people don't know where to go, what to ask, what question to ask. And if you don't know what questions to ask, you're not going to get the answers that you're
And that's
looking
right.
for. That's why you come to the repositioners, right?
Come to us, and because obviously we have knowledge that you might not have known, and you might not know where to even find it. That's the point of this podcast, and that's the point of you contacting us or any other person that's able to give you any type of knowledge that'll get you to the point where you're ready to set your foot down and claim stake in something.
Right.
That's if you haven't already.
And that's what this is, right? You're saying keep in Washington. This is a way you can purchase property, stay in Washington, and be able to actually buy a property, even if you said, "Oh my God, everything in the neighborhood that I'm interested in is so
it's like
high."
yeah.
Then you have all these programs, and there's one program that everybody rolls their eyes when I mention it, and they're like, "No, you go through too much and blah blah."
But they don't have a lot in DC anymore.
It's NACA. NACA.
I thought you were going to say HUD.
No, NACA is a program that is offered to you in DC. However, one of the best things about NACA is you can buy wherever you want to buy. It's not, you don't have to buy in DC. You can buy Maryland or Virginia, okay? But NACA, you have to go through some paces. You do. You have to go to that class. You have to take their workshops seriously. You have to do what they tell you to do to save. They have you save money
for 6
months. The timeline is you.
No, the timeline, if you're one of those people that's last minute,
then it's going to take you a year.
It's going to take you a year to 2 years.
If you're someone that you say, "Oh, I want to buy a house," and they're telling me I need to show them that I can save X amount, the difference, what they want to see, right, is if you are paying a rent of $1,000 now and your mortgage is going to be $1,500, right? They want to see you save $500 a month for the next 6 months, so that when you're starting, so it's like showing you you're paying that $1,500
and let's
right
pause
now.
there, because that's actually integral. That's somebody helping you with credit help, without you having to seek them out, and you have to pay them so much money.
Well, it's free. You don't have to pay anything.
And it's something that you need. Your credit is something that you need. You want it to be high so you don't have to spend your money. That's how they do it.
And one of the other good about, there's 3 good goods about NACA, right? The fact that you can purchase anywhere. The fact that the program is free to you. There might be 5 good goods. The fact that it doesn't matter what your credit score is,
because they'll help you
as long as you go through the program, right, and do everything they say.
They say your credit score is designed.
It doesn't even have to go up. It doesn't even have to go up. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. You're getting the same interest rate that everyone is getting.
Oh, wow.
And as a matter of fact, you're not getting the same interest rate. You're getting a better interest rate. 1.5%
that's much
interest rate for 30 years. 1.5%. They pay all of your closing costs and your down payment.
That's interesting, and I wish that we can. What is that? So in numbers, 1.5%. Let's say they're purchasing a 5. Is there a limit on NACA? Because I'm not as familiar with NACA. Now, is there a limit to how much you can buy? Because with DC Open Doors, which is another home buying program, it's for first-time home buyers, and you can make up to $124,000. And
well, they have different steps, right? The layers. Like if you make this is what can happen, and if you make this, then sometimes you add more on top of it at NACA. So they also say you can get 130% or 150% or whatever. You can really go to the top, and in certain neighborhoods too, if you're buying, they allow you to buy more in certain neighborhoods as far as the loan amount. It's crazy. And then if you weren't getting 1.5% interest rate, if you were getting a higher percent interest rate, you can get closing costs from the seller, because NACA is paying for all of your closing costs, to buy down the interest rate so you can get a higher price house. I mean, it's just unbelievable what you can get, and you
buy
just
down the interest rate
so that you
can afford more house. Okay, gotcha.
Which is very beneficial. So these are just some of the programs that are out there for people, and if that's where you're from, one of the high dollar areas, you can possibly still go back there with one of these programs. That's NACA. We did inclusionary zoning. Oh, so I didn't finish how that works. You go take the class. You sign up, you have to register, and then they send you, once you've taken the classes, gotten your certificate, and if you want to purchase a home, because you can do rentals with that as well. So if you like to live the fluffy life, you're all she, and you just want to rent.
Quick point. You can't. They have units that are specified for this. You can't just go in and say, "I want
That
this
one.
unit."
Yeah,
True.
no.
Those are
Let's be
facts.
clear.
Those
Yeah,
are facts.
those
That's
are
a
facts.
fact. Those
And
are
that's
facts.
where the ADU comes in.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
ADU they
it's
have
a
like
ADU,
a
affordable dwelling
percentage.
unit. Yeah.
They have a
In
percentage
DC
of the
it's
building.
10%.
They tell the
In
builders, if
DC
you put
it's
up
10%.
100 units,
Mm.
10 of these need to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's right.
Exactly.
So that's basic, but that's good because that's what we're talking about. Keeping Washington and watching the people that are here. The people that were here before gentrification started and before everyone else got here from the other places,
Mhm.
you know what I call them.
Washington is quite comfortable out in Moco though, because I was born in Washington.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but anyway, it's keeping Washington and Washington, y'all.
The point is,
Me and her argue about this all the time.
We wanted to keep Washington.
and she loves Virginia, which just I can't even. I
Me
cannot even.
Me either.
Like,
But that's a whole
shout out
nother.
to Virginia Beach. That's it.
There's one place.
Shout out to Arlington
Really?
and shout out to
Good
National Harbor.
God
I
bless
like
you.
it.
You
I
survived
like it.
Arlington.
Yeah.
But no one ever makes it out without a charge.
I made
Wow.
it out.
It's a tough place.
So there's so many different programs that are available to anyone at any income level, which is very, very good because again, this is an area that was very depressed for several decades, and everybody's on the come up. Anybody that had any money, they went to Montgomery County, Prince
Right.
George's County, and the people that are left is
Shout
like,
out.
okay,
They went to Potomac.
oh,
Or for those that are pretending they live in North Potomac,
oh,
people, there's no such thing.
oh,
Just like
That's
you said,
Gaithersburg. That's
there's no
Gaithersburg.
such thing, right? There's no such thing as North Potomac. It's either Rockville or Gaithersburg.
Yeah.
Okay, Potomac is Potomac. Just like there's no such thing as East or West Capitol Hill. There's Capitol Hill,
yeah,
and then there's the H Street corridor.
that's it. That's it.
But there's
Y'all
no
be trying to create enemies.
Yeah, we
Go
just
ahead.
create.
I just want to ask.
They
since
just want
we're
to
on H
include, be
Street,
inclusionary.
Shout out Gaithersburg.
Gaithersburg. Oh, God.
No,
Yeah.
there's no
Hey,
East or West.
Gaithersburg.
What are you saying about H Street? Now,
Oh.
that is a come up. Now,
Yeah, I know
H
you love
Street,
it. They have an Irish
is a
pub on
come
H
up,
Street. Does everybody
okay?
know this?
H Street.
I'm
I have to tell you,
about
you know where
What do you remember about H Street? back
It
in
was
the day?
Well, it
nothing
wasn't
there. It was
good.
the
I mean, I know, but it's
flood.com.
all the black owners of the businesses. My hairdresser, she's the only one that's left that still owns her property.
That's beautiful.
Listen, that's good.
Shout out
Everybody,
to
it was
your
black
hairdresser.
hairdressers, black little places to eat. It was Harlem.
But it was
Now, they
Harlem.
probably have a,
no,
an
it was
Irish pub in
It was
Harlem now.
Baltimore. It was Baltimore on
Uh-oh.
H
Always
Street.
confused.
And
What
I
does that
have-
mean?
We were never
Because that's the
Baltimore,
hood that I
honey. We were
know.
never Baltimore.
so-
To my
Find
Baltimore
another
family.
I mean,
We
I'm
love
from
y'all.
DC. I love you too. We have family in. Shout out B More, but no, we were never Baltimore. Know that. Hey,
Okay,
B More.
so
Baltimore's a
but you
beautiful city.
remember, and a lot of people, if they were here in the late '80s, early '90s, mid to late '90s,
Mhm,
you know H Street. The furthest I went on H Street is where Union Station.
mhm.
Okay.
Because Union Station is
Yeah.
right at H Street.
And let's
That's
bring the
it.
movie theater back, please, to the Union Station. I'm just
Oh
saying.
yeah, that used to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a good Union Station had a good food court.
And now, I mean,
I don't
it's
know. I
pretty
haven't
good
been
still now.
there.
It's still
Union
good now,
Station
though.
I
had a
left in
good.
1990.
Oh, so you missed out. He did.
The food court was real good at Union Station. So was the movie theater. I gotta say, I might be the only one. I did not like B. Smith Restaurant. It was just expensive.
Don't
but
hate
it
on
was,
B. Shout
It was
out to
just
B. Rest
expensive and
in
it wasn't
peace.
worth any. Oh, she died.
Yeah.
Her husband killed her.
Oh, I
Wow,
don't
we're
know
on
about that.
live.
Look,
Uh,
the comments
allegations.
mentioned on this show that do not come from my mouth are not
Allegedly.
anything
Just a few
that I
words.
would
Allegedly. Oh, did somebody else say he
No,
did?
nobody
Oh.
killed her.
Oh,
He did- she had Alzheimer's.
She had
if I'm not
something,
mistaken.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
At a
you
very
know,
young age.
because you
at
know,
that, so shout
because
out.
you know he
to her
was
family.
living in her house with
With
her
his
and
girl,
his
but
mistress.
she
So
was
I'm
okay.
just
But
She
saying.
knew.
she needed.
At
She
least-
had Alzheimer's. What do you mean she's okay with that?
Okay, we
How's she
digress.
gonna be
Let's
okay
get
with
back to keeping
Well,
Washington.
yeah. How can I invest in my neighborhood? Well, because I wanted to talk about different other options.
Let's talk
lines
about
of
those
credit.
other options.
Like
We
you're
want
the
to talk about
person
lines
to
of
talk
credit
about
and 2 or
that.
3Ks and all of that.
Yeah.
2 or 3Ks.
What we need to
Heck
make
of a-
sure
heck
people
of a
know about
vehicle.
2 or 3K.
Yes.
And don't shy away from them, even if you're a realtor or whoever is like.
Because your realtor don't know. Okay, I'm gonna be real with
Let's
you.
go. Get into it.
If you're looking to purchase a property or invest in a property, there are many different types of realtors.
Mm-hmm.
There's residential realtors.
Mm-hmm.
There's I'll fill in the box realtor. There's a commercial realtor. And then there's us. We out the box. We creative, right? You need a realtor that's gonna come up with stuff. It's not
That's
just gonna be
right.
like,
That's-
oh, I'm sorry, you can't get a regular loan. I can't help you. Oh, I'm sorry, this building is not VA approved, but you have a VA loan. Let's go find you something. Gotta say it. I gotta shout out to myself and my team
That's
because
right.
my client was trying to buy a condo at Fleet Street at National Harbor, the building National Harbor. He was using his VA loan. When we got all in the middle of the process, the building is not VA
approved.
Right.
And here's the thing: we go to the seller's agent and say the building is not VA approved. He's like, what do you want me to do?
Mm.
And so I said, well, can we get a little extra time? And me and my team, we're gonna go do the work to
Get
make
it
it
VA approved.
You know what they said? He said, the seller said, we're not giving you any extra time. You're not giving us any extra time to go do your work to sell your property. Okay, but we did the work anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did the work anyway. We settled on time. We got the building VA approved, and it wasn't even that
That's
much.
all you needed to do.
The problem is people think
Are
it's
you
just.
kidding
It
me?
wasn't even. It took
that
2
happens
weeks.
a lot.
It took 2 weeks. We went. We
You know,
stuck
I
in
feel
there.
like
We didn't
every
even hear
VA
thank
loan-
you. We didn't even hear thank you for doing that.
Every VA loan that's done in that building should come through you all just because
I'm
of that.
just saying. I'm
Just
just
because of
saying.
that. Because it's a process.
I'm just saying.
Real talk.
But that's
Call the
real talk.
repositioners if you're a VA and
Yeah.
you're looking to move out to Fleet Street.
Yeah.
There you go. Call
Northwest,
me because I'm the
Southwest.
reason you'll be able to do that.
That's
But
right.
the
They'll
point
get it done.
is, you have to know what we're saying. The realtor that you hire, man, you got to talk to the realtor and make sure that person, man or
knows
woman, whatever,
how to work
knows
for you.
how to work for you. You interview them just like you interview
Yeah.
And
other
that's
people.
it. And when we get on interviewing, because some people be interviewing and they think they know what they're talking about, they don't. So interview them
But
to
then
the
it takes
point.
the realtor that knows
That
everything
knows what they're
to
doing.
tell them the stuff that they're like, oh, I didn't know I needed.
That's
to
right.
Yeah, but if they're dealing with a realtor like Rick, he's gonna be like, all right, you do it. I mean, because he's not gonna put up. So when you interview
Everybody
him,
has a different philosophy.
yeah,
Exactly. Everybody does. But you need to know a commercial realtor
yeah.
is a commercial realtor. If you're seriously a commercial buyer, don't mess around with somebody that's a check the box realtor. Okay, I'm just doing my dotting my I, crossing my T, filling in the box, right? That's not who you want. You're not gonna get anything good because the real good commercials are not in the MLS.
Yeah,
right.
that's right. Now
It's,
that's
it's network.
the truth.
It's word. It's network. You moving and you talking and you grooving. It's not in the MLS.
It's
Okay?
relationships.
It's relationships.
Yes.
And when you're talking about financing, Zakia, come on now. If you can't get a regular loan, we can get you. We can get
Yeah,
you
there's
private
so many
funding, all
different
kinds
private
of stuff.
funding. There's hard money lending, and then you can also do things like a line of credit, and you just have to, like she said, think out of the box. And if you don't have somebody working for you that can do that, just find someone who can. Just call
Right.
us.
Right, and you need to make sure the people
makes
that
it
you're
simple.
working with, exactly.
does.
Just call you all.
Just call us. We have a team. We have a team that can get you your that can renovate your property if you don't have the money to renovate it, so you can get as much money as possible when you're selling it. They'll do the renovation and they'll charge you at settlement, so you get the work done.
Wow.
So you increase the value in your home, and you don't have to pay till you sell the house.
No
Right.
upfront out of pocket.
No
Yeah.
upfront out of pocket.
Yeah.
That's when.
That's what
why
we're
you
doing
call
for
that
one of our clients right
repossession.
now.
That's
We're
right.
doing that right now with one of our clients.
That's
So,
what I'm saying.
It's different ways to
Just
skin
do
a
your
cat.
due diligence. Just do
And
your
if
due
you
diligence.
want to do better than you're doing, right? Think about different ways to do that. Go and outsource and look at other resources. This is a podcast that'll give you information. Earn Your Leisure, it gives you great information. MG, the mortgage guy. Shout out to Bilal and Troy. Hey, Troy.
Right, so we have lots of
She
partners
couldn't
that
wait.
we work with. I know,
We
right?
couldn't wait to do that.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Earn Your Leisure, but there's different right now in the pandemic and everything that we're going through,
We can't lose it.
everybody's like, okay, we're on the money tip. We need to pivot, right? So everybody has a podcast. Shout out Noriega.
Zoom, streaming.
Everybody's got everything going on.
Mhm.
So this is the time of information.
Right.
And if you can't do anything else but receive the information to utilize it another time, please do so, because there's so many ways for you to make and preserve and increase upon your money, your assets, and your wealth and your well-being, period, that you can learn about. There's real estate, there is investing in marijuana, like we said,
Or just stocks.
or any
Or
stocks.
stocks.
Yeah, just stocks.
We give you financial
Commodities.
literacy.
Yes.
So we're not
Insurance.
insurance agents, but we give you the venue where you can get all the information you need, so you can make a decision on which works best for you, so you can create generational wealth, so that you can take that one property and turn it into 50, or
Right.
turn it into something that your family has for 80 years.
Right.
It's
That's
easy.
what the
It's
purpose
simple.
is. And that's the purpose of this podcast. If you have any desire to do better, have more, and increase upon and give back to not only your community,
You
but
gotta
your
get back.
family.
You gotta get back.
Yeah, because it always says in any of those money quotes, they're always like, the person who gives back the most gets the most.
Right, and you're not giving the gap,
And
but
y'all
you're
know
giving.
that's in the Bible.
It's
Stop
in the
acting like y'all
Bible.
ain't seen that.
Yeah.
I'm just
the more you
saying.
give, the more you get. But the thing is, they said, for if you have, what is that saying? For those who have much is
Much is
I want to give y'all
acquired.
some pushback though.
That's the truth.
I just want to
It
give you some
is.
pushback.
Pushback. What you pushing back?
Uh-oh.
What is the saying? The more you give, the more you get.
I mean,
something like that.
Because
He
I always
said
went,
something.
the more I get, the more I can give.
No.
Oh,
The
that's-
more
I was
you,
backwards
no,
then.
you're backwards. The more you give is the
I
more
always
you
was
get.
like, the more
Because and
okay.
especially
I'm sorry.
when you give freely,
yeah.
and you don't
You
expect
receive it
anything
twofold
or whatever.
in
Okay.
return, and you don't give just because you think that person's gonna give you. You give, and you know what is the best? Giving freely is when you give anonymously. You're not trying to get the glory now, but you're gonna get it. But you're not reaching out for it. You're not telling everybody, "I just give 10 million." That's why those people that have all that
Who
money
read
that's
these
giving
comments?
out
Can you see
millions.
them?
Yes, why you all in my life?
Can
I
you
was
see
Oh,
the
reading
sorry. I
them.
thought.
Hi, Mindy. And Tyler's up here.
Hey, Tyler.
Mindy, our people, Mindy.
Cute. Yes,
Tyler
Mindy.
Gilbert.
Hi,
Is it Tyler
Hey,
Gilbert?
Cuz.
Yes, Tyler
Oh, because I
Gilbert.
can't see. I can't
I
see.
can't see.
Mindy.
And I have my
Tyler.
reading glasses on.
Please.
But here's the thing: these are reading glasses for
Yeah.
close up.
Mm.
That's right.
But I have 20/20 vision distance,
Don't act
but I
like you
still
can see
can't
that
see
now.
it.
Right, okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
gonna
I
be
thought
real.
you were-
Who has experience with crowdfunding? That's some other
I
stuff,
do.
right?
So-
Really?
Yeah.
I wanna hear about that.
So crowdfunding is good, and even Fundrise. I have nothing to do with Fundrise other than I put some money there. Fundrise.
You sure you're not affiliated? You've been throwing
I'm
a
not.
lot of.
Uh-huh. She
No,
be
I'm
tagging
not.
them. Okay.
Look, I wish they would give me some money.
Check,
I'm
right?
not affiliated with anything. I just tell you about things that
The
I'm
good
doing
stuff.
or things that I know
Yeah,
about. Right.
yeah.
Fundrise is a REIT, a real estate investment trust.
Mhm.
So you can put $50, $20, whatever, every month or every week or what you do, and they invested in projects, like real
Mhm.
projects,
That's right.
like
Strip
real
malls.
estate. Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
I got a
yeah,
couple strip
yeah.
malls in mind.
Yeah.
And then you reinvest your dividends, so you just set it and forget it. That's what that is.
Okay.
And you're building wealth right there in real estate without spending $800,000
That's right.
on real estate.
So
Now, is
instead
that what
of-
Tulsa Real Estate is that a crowdfunding, Tulsa Real Estate?
I don't know that.
I've heard
Tulsa
about
Real Estate
Tulsa. I have
Fund.
not
Tulsa
done
Real
the
Estate,
research.
Jay
Is that
Morrison.
Jay
I think-
Morrison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
think
done
that's
the
what that's
research.
like.
I know there was
Shout
some
out Jay Morrison.
controversy.
I love you.
Stop shouting out all the men.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the
Don't do that. Don't do
crowdfunding
that.
is when you're putting money together. So a lot of small African countries, and we're putting together a program where we're going to go to Africa and teach the women empowerment and starting entrepreneurial.
Nice. What part of
Why
that?
y'all
okay.
keep leaving these kings out
Ghana.
and all of this stuff? man?
So
We're gonna talk
because-
about that another
Anyway,
time.
we'll talk about that another time.
Women. Can
But
we get some man empowerment?
Crowdfunding works when people put together money to help you start a business or whatever. Several years ago, when we started Her Life magazine, my business partner and I, Patricia, we got this email. Well, it wasn't even an email. We got this notice on Facebook. This guy in Italy reached out to us and said, "We see you have all these models, but they were just our brand ambassadors. They were just beautiful." And he thought we were running a modeling agency. And he said, "If you bring some models to Italy to compete in this competition that I've been doing for 25 years, we'll put you up, food and board and all that." But we're like, "But we got to get there, right?"
That's right.
And so we went on GoFundMe. And we're like, we need some money to because it was, I think, 7 or 8 of us went.
Really?
Me and my business partner, we took some models
So
to
you did a
compete.
GoFundMe.
So we did a
About that.
GoFundMe and we got $10,000.
No way.
Yes, we did, and it paid for the trip. And
And you told folks you needed money to go to Italy.
yeah, we told them what it was for.
Okay.
It
I
wasn't
know,
like
right?
that. But
So if
listen,
I say I need money to go,
no, but it wasn't like that. It
Okay,
was like we
okay.
needed money to go to Italy because we're taking 6 young women.
okay, giving them an
That
opportunity.
giving them an
Right,
opportunity,
okay.
and it wasn't even about winning, right?
Right,
Because I always say
right.
it's not about necessarily winning all the time. It's about who you meet in the room,
Right,
right?
that's right.
Because you got to pay attention to who's in the room. Because you might
That's
not win,
very
but you
Who
will
is
win.
in the
That's
room.
very
Right.
important.
But anyway, we went and we came back with first and second prize.
Wow.
Well, good.
Congratulations.
Yes, we
See?
did. But that's how we got the money. We did GoFundMe, and then you can do these micro funding where, like, 5 people, like somebody's starting a business,
Mhm.
right? And they said, "Well, can you give me not donate, but can you invest $1,000
That's right.
or
Yeah.
$2,000, and then you get a little percentage of what the
Mhm.
business
Right,
is." So
right.
that's all the things you can do.
But
So
that's
you
all
can
the things
do
you can do
this
this amongst yourself.
If you're trying to purchase some real estate, you can use
You
this
can-
Yeah,
so you can do this.
crowdfunding,
You
yeah.
can do
Because I get
crowdfunding.
emails about it from crowd.
You can do
Free.
crowdfunding, or you can say, "Look, I'm starting a real estate investment business.
Mhm.
I'm looking for partners, right?"
Not to cut you
Mhm.
off, but my mind is saying crowdfunding.
Mm-hmm.
I need my down payment. Is the bank going to accept?
It's free. It's
it a
not
gift?
money that you have to pay back.
What
It's
is
a
it
gift.
considered a
It's
gift?
a gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
Mortgage folks out there, talk to me. Crowdfunding. I got my down payment through crowdfunding. Can I use it for my down payment? Somebody give us the word on that.
If you have that money and it's a gift, right, and they
Mhm.
see where it comes from. So I would say, here's what I would say. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm a real estate agent, but I know a little bit about everything real estate related. So what I would say to you, if you were getting your down payment from crowdfunding or any other sources like that, get it more than 3 months before you apply for the loan. That way you don't have
Well, it
to
takes
explain.
time.
Tell them why.
Tell
them why.
So
'Cause
it can be
banks
seasoned in your
season
account. And so you don't have to
Ah.
explain it's a
Season
gift
money.
from crowdfunding, because you're not going to get a letter from all the people that
Real
send you
quick.
money that said we sent
That's
you
right.
free money.
So real
That's
quick,
the
this
point.
is what season money is to the
Mhm.
bank. It's money that's been in your account
Mm-hmm.
for at least 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Seasoned
So,
money.
Seasoned. They will not ask you where it came from if
Mhm.
you can show them 2 statements
Mm-hmm.
with
Right.
that money in the account.
Uh-huh. And that
Good
way
info.
you can get that money, and that's a gift. You don't have to pay it back.
That's
Yeah.
And that's your money.
That's
It's
right.
not even a gift now. It's your money in your account. Here's my down payment. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
That damn Nancy Alert, she's always over talking me.
Oh,
Hey Nancy, shout out because that's hard to do.
No, but
That's hard
that's
to do.
good. That's good jewels. And like, if you're not taking notes, this is recorded. You can rewind it or whatever.
That was a
because-
jewel, season money.
Yeah, that's
Crowdfunding.
very important. And this is all I want from my people that I know, people that I don't know. Tell everybody how to get this money, because trust me, that's what we're doing.
yeah. And there are some ways for you to
Can I-
purchase property without money, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But people, come on, you can buy it without money. But if you don't have good credit, don't ask to buy it without money.
So you need one or the other,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a combination of the two.
Oh.
I want to hear about this no money.
Oh, there's lots of no money program that you can get. But
No
it's
money
all-
down.
No money down. There's a
Be
lot
clear,
of
no
variables.
money down.
money
You need
down.
money when you're buying a property.
You can buy property
You-
for no money with
But
no
you do
money
need
down.
some money.
You-
There's some things you got to pay for. You got to pay for an
Like the
appraisal.
There-
inspection and stuff.
listen,
You gotta
but
pay
that's-
for
Well, it
inspection.
depends.
Let me hear
do
about
you
it.
need an appraisal? See, it
Right.
depends on what kind of property you're buying, what kind of money you're getting to purchase the
Mhm.
That's
property.
right.
Now, if you're financing the property, 95% or 100% of the property is being financed, you're gonna need an appraisal.
Appraisal.
That's
That's right.
If it's a hard money You might need an appraisal because they want to
Mhm.
know.
They want to know. Everybody
What-
wants to
what
know
is
where
worth.
If it's
Right.
private
Right.
where
money or
is
if you
their
pay
money
cash,
going
you don't
into
need an
something that's worth
appraisal.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it depends. It depends. If it's a total jacked up, this is a total rehab renovation. It's a shell.
But it's next door to a $1.5 million.
Then you don't need
Yeah,
you
and
don't
if you
need an appraisal.
Okay, clear it up for them. I want them to know what it
You
is.
don't need an appraisal because you know the value's there once you fix it up. The repair value is there.
Yeah.
The
And that's
ARV.
very important, and that's very important that you have somebody that knows what they're talking about with those numbers and what the after repair value is and how much it may cost and all of those things, because people will have you jacked up. You'll be in a deal and you'll keep seeing money sinking. And so that's why it's just very important to keep yourself knowledgeable.
And get the right team.
Whether you call the
Talk to the
repositioners,
repositioner.
well, yeah, I was going to say whether you call us or not. See, I'm not like that. I know that if you want to go with the best, I know what you're going to do. No, I don't have to say call the repositioners.
Yeah,
You know
call
we're
the
the best.
repositioners.
I'm gonna say it again. Call the
The
repositioners.
repositioners.
They got a team in place.
And find out as much as you can once you call us, get the knowledge from us, find out how to get the money through us, and continue. Because one thing now, Warren Buffett, everybody loves to talk about him, but apparently he reads 50 books a day.
Yeah, well, no.
Or 500 pages. No, sorry, 500 pages a day.
Thank you.
Well, let me just put a
Let's just
caveat.
say-
When you're the richest man in the world,
You
can
don't
do
have
that.
nothing to
else
do.
Or one of
them.
Well,
Okay.
my point is always search for better.
Mhm.
Go do something better than what you're doing. Go
Hashtag-
do
hashtag
something
go do.
prominent, profitable,
Mhm.
positive.
Mm-hmm. Go do.
You know,
Hashtag go do.
After hours.
IZ Lottery.
Inclusionary zoning. IZunits.com.
Oh, I heard a great quote though, and I know this is way off. Shout out to Diddy. I watched your interview the other day.
You know I love you.
What did Diddy say? He said, "The
Uh-oh.
illusion
Mm-hmm.
of inclusion.
Yes.
The illusion of inclusion.
What is the illusion of inclusion?
When you think you're being included, but you're not.
Because you see a few speckles here and there. You see Diddy,
Oh, I got
You see
Gucci
Jay.
on. I knew it. Yeah, I
You
can
see-
do it. Mm-hmm.
but are you really included? Make sure you're included.
Make sure.
Yeah, and then
And this is
Take
the
the
first
steps.
step. This is the first step.
Take the steps.
Watching shows like this podcast, reading books, listening to Audible, learning and talking and going to classes like the ones we have at the Repositioners, calling up a real estate agent, trying to find out more about what to do when purchasing a house.
That's right.
Being knowledgeable is
Let's
the
get rid of
first
the
step.
illusion.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that what
Let's just make
Jay-Z
sure we're
said?
included.
Didn't Jay-Z said too? What didn't he say? I think this was last week. I heard this. He said, "Don't watch my moves, but follow my moves."
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
What does follow mean? Take the same steps. you
Exactly.
That's right.
Take the
There's
same
nothing
steps.
that's
Yeah,
it.
stop just watching me. Follow
And
my
that's
moves.
all
Follow
he
my
says. He
moves.
said, imitate greatness. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Well, this was brought to you by Shake and Stir.
Shake and stir.
Why Shake and Stir? Because we're keeping Washington
Then
in
in
Washington.
Washington.
Shake and Stir is a mixology and bartending company. So, and they're on Instagram at Shake and Stir 202. So follow them, and if you need a bartender anytime, I'm sure that they have people that can step
Yes.
up for you.
Shout out to Self Made Entertainment Studios.
Shout out to Self Made.
Heads Up, New York Avenue.
Go get your hair cut there. It's been there for decades,
Oh,
and he
literally
does a great
decades.
job. That's like, is that a DC?
Oh man,
Monument or
don't
whatever?
get me started.
I think it is.
They need to give them.
I don't know. I mean,
The city needs to give them that.
I don't. Well, I
20,
think
I'm
so.
sure 20
I think
years.
it
Heads
is.
Up.
Yeah.
Right there on New York Avenue.
You know where
Go check
Andy's
them out.
Fish
The
Market
best barbers,
is. It's right
the best
beside-
barbers in
Is
DC.
Andy's Carryout still right there with the fish sandwiches?
I know Heads Up right there.
Well, it's right beside
Heads Up is
Andy's.
right
You know
there.
my hungry ass. I know where to go get some good food. Shout out to what is it? Carl Subs by Carl's. That's so hungry.
you're hungry.
On Rhode Island Avenue. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Please buy the block when you can. If you don't know how, learn how. Call us 202-688-1272. I'm Zykia Lopez, your host of Keeping Washington in Washington. This is Nancy Alert. This is my partner, and this is Rick Parker,
AKA Raleigh.
who happens to also be my cousin, but he's one of the top real estate agents in Axie Realty.
In Potomac.
Stormer.
In Potomac.
Hey. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you
See
for
you next
tuning
time.
in.
Keep Washington in Washington, right?
Yay! Bye, everyone.
Empty classes.
Hey, that was great, y'all.
We
I'm
had
sorry I
like
had to
two
step
people
out.
watching, literally.
That's it.
But they were
Somebody